afternoon. How are you? How are you? Good, that's better. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me here. I really appreciate it. So how do we make Nexium a mega brand? How do we utilise the power of all of our skills, each of our individual skills, to ensure that we achieve the objectives? The power of one person is incredible, and we underestimate it very often. You know, in the Olympics, the Winter Olympics in Nagano, if each person in the Swedish Olympic team improved by just 2%, Sweden would have won every single gold medal. They won none. So a 2% improvement individually would have meant every single gold medal. That's how much difference each of you can make. Just think of that. Everybody here, 10% better. What an unbelievable force that would make. Success isn't just up to the front line, guys. It's up to everybody in the company to have one vision, one voice, and one goal. It makes a difference. That's the power that this company has in this room. But we must also realise that the most important thing in business today, the biggest power of all, is the power of the customer. Today we build big businesses one customer at a time, and only those companies that have got fantastic communication ability will succeed today. A new way to look at the way we do business. The first one, ideas. Today we need new ideas. Only 1% of the thoughts you have today are different than yesterday. That's not good enough. You want to be successful in business today, 1% change in your thoughts is not good enough. We need imagination. We've got to think outside the box. We've got to get away from our normal way of thinking. Intuition, gut feel is very important. The most important person out there is your customer, the practitioner who's going to be prescribing Nexium. You need to have intuition about what they're thinking, what they're feeling, so that we know that decision maker. You know, all decisions are made with a preconscious mind. When you think about something, your preconscious mind thinks about it first. That's a 100% emotional part of your mind. There is no pragmatism in that whatsoever. So if they think Nexium first, they'll buy it. Your job is to put it in the front of their mind. We need to interact more with our peers, with our customers, and internally, so that we all understand and we're all on the one page. We need to seize the initiative. We have to be able to address customers, our practitioners' issues on the spot. Delays cause anger. Delays cause frustration. We have to, and they give your competitors an opportunity to get in. Today, we've got to use our marketing and our sales skills to deliver a unique customer experience. They've got to feel, wow, this is a company that is helping me, that I want to deal with. The power of winning today is the power of knowledge, the power to be able to communicate. The difference between a great company and a good company is a great company knows how to listen to its customers and listen to its staff. Without satisfied customers, no one has a business. The only person that's important is the customer. And believe it or not, the customer doesn't care about you. They don't care about you at all. The customer only cares about them. We've got to be able to compare our product with the competitor's product. Objectively, correctly. We've got to give them information. That way we build equity. Clothes aren't about price. Cars aren't about price. No business on this planet is about price. Not one. People only make a decision based on price if everything else is equal. If everything else is equal, you've done a lousy job of marketing your product. To educate companies, we've got to educate ourselves first. We've got to educate ourselves about our product, about our competitor's product, and the customer. What does the customer want? What changes are they going through? What pressures are they going through? Levi's. 1996, Levi's had 31% of the world's jeans market. 31%. Within 12 months, they had 14%. The market changed. They didn't. From 31% to 13% in 1 year. How is your customer changing? How are your prescribers changing? What different pressures are they under today than they were yesterday? How are their needs going to change over the next couple of years? How do you give your customers exactly what they want? How do you ensure that you just sound like your competition? If you go in there and you sound exactly like the bloke before you, who was your competition, you'll lose. One of my favourite sayings, Abraham Lincoln said, if I had 8 hours to chop down a tree, I'd spend 6 hours sharpening the axe. How many of us actually sharpen the axe? And how many of us just go out there and start chopping? Because you know, the guy who goes out and starts chopping doesn't cut the tree down the fastest. So how much time before you go to a meeting with a prescriber do you actually sit there and think about the prescriber? Think about who they are, what they've told you, what information you've got? How many of you? Just that couple of minutes extra thought about who you're going to see and what their needs are could mean the difference between building a rapport with them and not. Today you've got to look for the individual in every customer rather than the customer in every individual. Look for that individual. What are they about? They've got to be able to trust you, rely on you for advice. Know that what you're giving them is true and accurate and is going to help them. Empathy drives communication. And only when you understand your customers and what you're feeling can you properly communicate with them. You know, communication today is dialogue. Too many of us are in the monologue business. We're too busy telling them how great we are to listen to what's happening to them. How many of us have rented Avis because they try harder? What are you saying? What is your one powerful prescribing benefit? If you don't know what it is, we need to think about it. You've got to differentiate yourself from your competitor. It produces very powerful results. And what's that powerful message that you're getting across that's getting into the pre-conscious mind that's telling them, I need you? We had a pizza store come to us and said, we need a promotion and we got no money, we're broke. I said, okay. So we just simply said, anybody who brings in all our competitors' ads from the yellow pages gets 2 pizzas for the price of 1. Everybody cut out all the competitors' ads and brought them in, got 2 pizzas. Next time they want to buy a pizza, we're the only people in the phone book. Doesn't cost anything. It's about thinking. You know, the power that we all have, the power of the company, the power of the team, the success of your product, of Nexium, all comes down to the power that you have. You're going to make the difference, every one of you. The guys at the back, the guys in the Mercedes, they can't make a difference. It's up to you. You've got it in your hands. How many of you are totally focused all the time on what you're doing? I'm going to go and see this doctor. I'm focusing on that. I'm not worried about anything else. I'm thinking about him, what I can do. I saw a wonderful interview with Tiger Woods the other day. They said, how come you're so good? And he said, I concentrate absolutely on every shot, every round, every practice, every single time. I never let my mind wander anywhere else. How many of us can say that? And look how good he is. It's about focus. It's about setting goals for ourselves. You know, the difference between, in Sydney in 3 weeks' time, the difference between the gold and silver medal in the 100 metres is 7 times faster than any one of you can blink. The difference between the guy who comes first and the guy who comes second, 7 times faster than any one of you can blink. That's not a lot. But everybody will remember who came first. Nobody will remember who came second. So for you to be the best you can be is that much difference. It's that 10% I was talking about earlier. With passion, with feeling, communicate the energy. Get that rapport going and you will win. This will be a mega brand. Thank you very much. Woo!